Hello YouTube, welcome back to my channel Purple Cat Network. My name is Chris and I make videos of my crafting projects, and today I'm really excited to be making a new kit. It is a Christmas themed kit, the Nordic Living Room. I believe I got this kit from Temu. I'm not 100% sure what brand it is. It doesn't say on the instructions, but I have seen it available on other sites as well. And today I'm going to be focusing just on building the frame, and in particular a customization of the frame, and I want to make it a little bit more personalized so it means something more to me. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be making it pink themed. Why pink? Well, growing up I spent a lot of Christmases with my grandparents, and my grandmother's favorite color is pink. At one stage she had a house where she painted all of the walls pink, and she only uses pink Christmas decorations. So pink tinsel, pink baubles, anything pink, you name it, she uses it for her Christmas decorations. So I wanted to make my living room for Christmas pink just to pay a little bit of a tribute to my grandmother. So the first thing I'm doing with this build is I'm just priming all of the walls with a little bit of white paint just to make it a little bit easier to paint over them. I'm doing this with a sponge because I find it gets a bit of a nicer finish. There's only 2 wall pieces to this miniature, so it makes it a lot easier to do. There's not a lot of painting that needs to be done. I'm just using some white acrylic paint. After I painted it white and let it dry, I'm going over it with a nice baby pink color. This is pretty much the same color of pink that my grandmother's walls in her house were painted, this beautiful baby pink. So I'm just going over the wall which I painted white with the pink using a sponge again. I only needed to do 1 coat. I found that it was perfectly enough to get good coverage over the walls using this pink color. I made the pink from mixing some white acrylic paint with a darker pink acrylic paint. You can see that the walls have little holes in them, and so these holes will be where the lights that come with the kit go. This wall has a few more holes in it, so this kit has a version that comes with a music box, and where the bigger holes are on this wall is where the music box would go. My kit didn't come with a music box. I'm not too sure how you get it. It's possibly something that you have to order separate, but it doesn't matter because those holes get covered anyway, as you'll see later on with the fireplace. But as you can see, the pink color's coming up real nice, and I'm pretty happy with the overall color and look of the pink. Now that the walls are painted pink, what I'm going to do is a pattern on top. So I'm just copying the original pattern that was on the wallpaper that came with the kit because I liked it. So it's just a row on the top of the wall that's some snowflakes and dots. I wanted to make sure that it looked even and precise, so I measured the original wallpaper to see how far the snowflakes were from the edges and the ceiling, and then I'm just using a pencil and a ruler to map it out on my wall before painting it. Now that I have the snowflakes all mapped out, I'm going over it with a darker pink. So this is the pink paint that I had purchased and used to mix to make the wall baby pink color. So this is just a straight pink paint out of the tube. The hardest part of this was the paint brushes I have. They're pretty cheap and they're not really very good for fine detailed work. So it doesn't look as nice and tidy as I'd like. The lines aren't as crisp as they could be because my paintbrush just isn't fine enough. But I tried my best to make the nice little snowflake pattern progressively along the walls and to try to keep it neat and tidy. Close up, it does look a little bit messy, but from far away, the overall effect I think turned out pretty good. So after doing the first wall, I went ahead and did the exact same thing with the second wall, making sure the pattern was the same distance from the top of the wall so that it would look nice and even when the walls were put together. Next up, I'm painting the floor. I wasn't too sure originally how I wanted to paint the floor, and I decided to go with a bit of a wood kind of look. So I grabbed my paintbrush and a bit of brown paint I had, which I then diluted with a lot of water so that it was quite watery, and then just evenly doing strokes vertically up and down with my brush to try and make it look a little bit like a wooden floorboard effect. I did think about using popsicle sticks to actually make floorboards, but I didn't have any, and I didn't really have time to go out and get some, so I just decided to paint it. I've tried to make the paint a little bit sparse in some areas, and then I made it a little bit darker in other areas to make it look a little bit more like a wooden floorboard effect. And overall, I think it came out quite good. Looking at it from afar, the effect does really look like a wooden floor. Okay, so now I'm joining my walls to my floor, and the key part with this is to make sure I put the right wall in the right spot. Because of the holes on the wall that are for lights, you need to double check that you're following the correct instructions and putting the right wall on the right side with the holes. So the bigger holes go against the far wall, the wall piece with the smaller holes goes on the side. Now that I have the walls joined to the floor, I think it's looking really nice and coming together, and I can't wait to see what it looks like when I add more Christmas decorations. The last thing I'm going to be doing as part of this video is I wanted to do the fireplace, as it is kind of part of the wall, and so this kit comes with pieces for the fireplace. It does come with paper to stick onto the wood, which I didn't want to do. I didn't want to use a paper effect, especially after painting the walls and having that more of a natural look, so I decided to paint my wood instead to sort of match a brick pattern. I tried carving out the brick pattern with a knife on the wood and then painted over that with a brown color and then dry brushed over that with a bit of white to try and get the carvings of the brick to pop. So now it's time to assemble the fireplace, which is pretty straightforward. All of the pieces joined together really well. I glued all of the pieces together before they set, so I was able to make sure it was nice and straight. So the last detail of the fireplace, you can see flames coming through it, and the kit comes with a picture of flames. I decided that I wanted to just paint some flames to kind of keep it all matching with my hand painted look. So I grabbed a piece of cardboard and cut it to a similar size that would fit in my fireplace, and just modeling off of the picture that came with it, I just painted some flames with a little bit of yellow paint and then went over it with some darker oranges and blacks to get a bit more of a fire effect, and I think it turned out pretty good. Now it's time to add my flames to my fireplace, so I'm just gluing the picture into the back of it and making sure that it's all lined up nicely. And there's a few kind of touch-ups that I did with the black paint just to get rid of the white spots that were coming through. And now it's time to add the fireplace to the back wall. As you can see, there's a hole on the chimney that needs to be lined up. And here is my customized Christmas living room frame. I'm so excited to keep working on this. I can't wait to add the decorations. I've got pink tinsel and pink baubles, and I'm going to be making the couch pink as well. And I'm also going to be customizing the table that comes with it with a more Christmassy fabric and a gingerbread house. If you like this video, please be sure to hit the thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to see more of my craft projects. Thanks for watching.